Hi kind friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you. Thank you for spending some time with me. So it's a while actually since I put up a video, and so it's time. And I'm coming back with my completed pages of the last quarter. So these are the pages that I colored in April, May and June. I always do 3 months because otherwise it would just be not enough to show you. So here you can basically see a collection of books that I have colored in. And yeah, so I would say let's get right started. Okay, let's get started with the completed pages basically. And the first one that I want to share is Fairy and Fantasy. The first one in the series by Karron. This is one of my 10 books to finish, and I added another page to this book here. So I will show you the images in the order of completion. I like to do that. So this was completed in April, and you will see that most of my pages are actually finished in June, even though I hadn't colored for 2 weeks then, basically. But I have worked on the other pages and then in June just finished them off. That's another reason why I just like to do them in a quarterly basis so that I can spread it out the work time. And I like to work on multiple pages at the same time. So yeah, I did this cute little dragon page here because it's Year of the Dragon. And yeah, I wanted to do this for the longest time. I don't have the a crazy lot of embellishments this time, just a little bit of stickles. Wanted to be a little bit more, not always overdo it with the glitters, so to speak. So this was this one by Karron. So the second page that I colored is from Easy Spring by Joshua Dunbar. I love to color Joshua's easy books, his pocket-sized books, and everything else that he does, basically. And this is the page that I have worked on. And yeah, I love his easy books because they give us a little bit of space for the background to play and practice with some mediums. I love to use mixed mediums, especially in backgrounds. And these were the Distress Oxide inks, which I had new and I wanted to play with them. And then I love his style to work a little bit with alcohol markers and practice my blending. And then the details I just color in with pencil, like those little birdies, the leaves, the flower, the water, and all of that. Let me see. To show you the details, I turn on some light here. And yeah, overall, I have to say that I really enjoyed to work on this page here. It was one that I wanted to color for, since I got this book, basically. It was one of my favorites. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. So this was Joshua Dunbar's Easy Spring. So then the next book that I want to share is Matchstick Mouse, a floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And I colored my second page in this book this year. And it is this little, beautiful dandelion mouse lady here, on which I actually have a video. So if you want to know how I did the background, how I did the little mouse, you can follow it. Let me see. I will just turn on some light here so that you can see the effects here, because I have worked with some of those shiny metallic watercolors. I showed in the video which brand it was. It was a new brand for me, Lightwish or so. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much. You can see around the grass as well how it looks, and I think this gives it just something special. The background was done with a new color too. I love to work with mixed media. You can see the warping here a little bit here and there, and every, in some spots, I don't know, the paper just goes together a little bit and makes those wrinkles here, but I can live with it. I had a lot of fun playing with it, and I think that's what counts the most. And so this is my Matchstick Mouse lady. I will link the first part up in the corner. If you want to follow it, you can. So, Matchstick Mouse, a floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And then I worked in another book by Joshua Dunbar, and this is Island Cuties. And yeah, I just love to work or to color Joshua's books. They are, oh no, this is one that I still want to do, and I will show you two because I actually colored 2 pages, and this is actually one that I did in May, and it was a merman. I had started this last year. I had only done a marker base, so it wasn't a whole lot that I did, and then yeah, I decided it was time to finish this little guy here, and I tried out the Arctic's acrylic brush pens on this to try out if I can color directly with them. And yeah, then I tested if I can go over with pencil a little bit. And yeah, I put some stickles here as well. And then the background is done with the Distress Oxides, because as I just said, I got them new, and so I wanted to play with them, and I just got some greens and some blues, and so I played a lot with greens and blues last quarter, I must say. Yeah, so this was the first one from this book, and then the second one is actually this little piece here, and I have to say this I colored with the Neocolor 2 and then with a Tombow blender pen, or you can also use an alcohol blender, which I think I used also on this page here. So they perform exactly the same way, and the alcohol blender doesn't make the color to bleed through. I mean, maybe a little bit. I can see here on the water where I've used it, they shine through a little bit more, but overall, yeah, it does work very well. And this was a quickie, you know. This is a small pocket-sized book, and then the technique with those water mediums, and then just resolving them with those blender pens, which uses extremely little liquid. And you can see that I don't have any warping on this paper here. So you can see, even though I used actually a water medium, I have no warping, no buckling, nothing on this paper here. So this does work very well for Amazon books, basically. And it's a lot of fun. And I think that maybe it took me an hour or so to color this. And it was just fun. It was quick. And I enjoyed myself. So it was a lot of fun. No special effects on this one this time. I mean, we don't need special effects every time, I think. So that was Island Cuties by Joshua Dunbar. And then I colored this portrait by Renata Berta Art. Yeah, I got this image from her Etsy store. And it's an Asian lady, as you can see. And I also have basically a like a color shed on her, how I did her skin basically. Yeah, however, I colored like everything except the skin with the Chroma Flow, but not with the new big set, but with my old set, because, you know, since I got the old set basically, so the smaller set, I hadn't used some. And so sometimes I'm mad at myself because I always need to have something and then I don't use it. So, and then the new set came out and I just said, okay, let's play with the Chroma Flows and see how much I like them. But I decided that this set is enough for me. I don't need the bigger set. And I have to say it was a pleasure to work with them. So I really liked the look of those flowers here, especially the hair was a lot of fun. And yeah, actually it was a lot of fun to work with them. Yeah, on the background I have used, I think this was Neocolor 2. So you can see that it's just a Neocolor 2 background. And then I went in with some glitter watercolors by Lelinska. And yeah, I really like how this looks. They are so sparkly. Yeah, I really like it. So I put them on and then I blended them out with a damp brush to bring in the glitter a little bit further. Yeah, basically the glitter here at the outlining and then just blend it out a little bit. So that was how I did it. And yeah, absolutely enjoyed this page here. Yeah, and this was by Renata Berta Art. So these were all the images that I had colored in April and May. And this is the stack that I colored in June. So yeah, you know, in April I just had started a bunch of pages, and then in June I have finished as many of them off, I think. And then after my coloring slump, I needed something, yeah, to get me started. And you know, I just absolutely love to color Derya Carkirsoy. This is amazingly adorable characters collection in grayscale, her coloring book number 9. And yeah, this one brought me out of it basically. Because I just had so much fun to make this very colorful. I played with alcohol markers here on her tail, and then yeah, I did a dotting technique to blend it together basically a little bit. I went in a little bit with pencils to just make the colors a little bit brighter even, and then I put on some stickles there, made some white outlines here. The background is Neo Color 2 again, and then yeah, here on the border I have a glittery watercolory outline again. It was a little set that I got as an extra from Lynn's, a special set with color shifting colors. I absolutely adore this small set of colors. So beautiful. I tried it out on this one here and yeah, fell in love with it. So yeah, absolutely adore this image here. And yeah, this brought me out of my coloring slump. I think Derya, her images, especially her cute style, it is always good for me if I yeah, need some help, so to speak. Amazingly adorable characters collection by Derya Carkirsoy. So then I worked in Maui Mermaids and Island Whimsy Girls by Lynn. This is a book that I got, I think last year, or was it this year? Yeah, and I was intrigued by those very colorful colors, which I thought were very, yeah, summery in some way. And so I continued on this page to do the same thing. You know, I used the same markers, which I still had on my table lying here on her tail. And then I just loved the green together with those pinks and oranges and yellows. I thought that looks so good. And so yeah, this was a another quick image, so to speak, which then yeah totally brought me back to coloring, so to speak, because it was so much fun to do all those vibrant, bold colors here. Yeah, and I really love the outcome. On the background, again, I have used the Neo Color 2. The only thing that I was not the most happy with was her hair colors, because I had used my Castle Art gold pencils and they didn't have enough contrast for me. But then I went in with those color shifting glitter watercolors by Lilinska, and yeah, so now it's okay. It's providing a little bit of extra, and yeah, I loved it. And then her face, I'm very happy how it turned out. And yeah, I really want to color more from Lynn, but in her full-size books, basically. Of course, also in her Enchanted Faces book, but yeah, her full-size books, they are so beautiful. I would love to do another one from this book, but I think I want to give my other books a little bit of love as well. Also, I added a little bit of stickles here in the flowers, and yeah, a little bit of outlining with this color shifting color. Wow, I can see it so good here with the window light and the artificial light. I hope it would come through. That is so amazing. I need to try to film this for you in some way. Yeah, and then I finally finished my first page from Aviary, Mythographic by Joseph Catimbang. I absolutely adore this book, also because it was a gift by a lovely person. And yeah, this book is very precious to me, and I love all the imagery in this book. And yeah, this is the first page that I managed to finish, and actually it's only the second mythographic page that I was able to complete. And I have to say that I'm very happy with this result this time. So, you know, with my very first mythographic page, I was not so happy with it, but here I think this time I actually really like it. I like how the colors go together, this kind of like violet, blue and pinks, and also a little bit of this tealish green. I think that looks really nice together, and yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to color this page. And I also used this time luminance pencils and the Doven Lightfast pencils, because you know that I seem to struggle a bit with the Prismacolor in this book for some reason. But another thing that I found out, that alcohol markers work actually really good on this paper here, because it doesn't really spread so much. So you have a very good control, even though, you know, the one downside is that the line work is so thin that is a little bit difficult. Sometimes it's so small that it's difficult to go in with the alcohol markers, but on this paper it doesn't spread like crazy, and that's a plus, definitely. So maybe I can work a little bit more with that in the future, we will see. And the background was done with the gel crayons by Shuttle Art. So just a cheap brand and a lot of fun. And I have also used a little bit of this glitter watercolor. Yeah, since it was also new, of course, I wanted to use it on every page that I did. I mean, it's normal, right? So it's okay. And yeah, the rest, as I said, was done basically with pencils. The swan was mainly done with the alcohol markers, with a blend of it. And then just I went in at the very last step and intensified the shading a little bit with pencil. Yeah, and so that's my very first page from Aviary that I have finished, and I absolutely love it. I'm happy with it, and yeah, now the next page can come, I would say. Mythographic Aviary by Joseph Catimbang. And then I also managed to color my very first Cris Ortega page. This is a Colorless Kingdom Volume 2, Dark and Gothic. And, you know, I wanted to do a page from Cris Ortega this year. And because I absolutely adore her art style, her images. But she has quite a bit of detail in her images, and that's a reason why maybe I hadn't done one earlier, because it will take some time, and this one did as well. Even though I tried to make it a little bit simpler for myself. So the background, for example, like I colored over with alcohol markers, and I just colored over those trees here, for example, also over, did I do alcohol there as well? Yeah. Also, I colored over here, basically. So I didn't care for all the little branches, because then I went over with a very dark alcohol marker to bring in the tree, basically, or the branches, you know. And that worked very well. I had worked with some acrylic paint markers here on the moon to bring him out a little bit better. And then I worked with the acrylic paint markers, the Artex ones, on these bushes here. It's a very simple technique, but I think from afar it looks very effective and good. And then I focused my pencil work here on the lady, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed to color her dress so much. I gave her an alcohol base layer, and then went over, I think, with a mixture of Prismacolors and polychromos. And by the way, on this page, or on this paper here, in this book, I noticed that the alcohol markers bleed so much. Really, so much. So, especially on those small items, when I put a marker base, it bled over the lines quite a bit, like at least 1-2 millimeters. So, it spread like crazy. I just added some very tiny sparkly effects, like here on the light from the castle. I hope it's showing up. I put some of those sparkly watercolor, which I just love to use, and a little bit of stickles here on her collar, so to speak. And then a little bit of glossy accents here on this gemstone here. So, and that's basically all that I have here. So, but yeah, I have to say I enjoyed this. The only thing that I didn't enjoy as much were those very small leaves and flowers, I have to admit it. But the main image was a lot of fun, basically. And I'm so happy that I'm finished with my first Cris Ortega page. I would love to continue to work more in this book. It's such an adorable book, and yeah, I love the outcome. I really like it. So yeah, this was Cris Ortega, A Colorless Kingdom, Volume 2. So then I colored one more from Enchanted Faces by Lynn. This is one of my 10 books to finish, and I have a few whips in here, and I decided to finish one of those because, you know, if you remember the other Lynn page that I did, I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to color more of Lynn, and then I thought it would be good to color just this whip that I have. Of course, I would have loved to color more in the mermaid book, but, you know, I am trying to color only one page per book each quarter so that I can show you basically more different books. So yeah, so that was my thought process. So that's why I went on this page here, and I had done the hair so far, and then the rest I needed to color in, and I enjoyed to color in her face here. And the background was done just with alcohol markers with the pastel color set. Honolulu series, I think it was. I wanted to make it very pale. And then, yeah, I colored in this little order here, and yeah, just the little details here. Added in some stickles here on the waterline here, and also on those bubbles and her pearls. So, yeah. And that's, yeah, basically it. So, and I just really love the color combo that I did on her hair. Looks very nice. I tried to make it a little bit different underneath the water. So I don't know if that looks so good, but I like both color combinations. So, and it was a lot of fun. I love to color Lynn hair, and I love to color in Lynn faces. They are always such, yeah, they are always so much fun to do them. So this was Enchanted Faces by Lynn. And then came another 2 weeks break because I had to renovate. And then just yesterday and the day before, I finished 2 other pages. And one was from Fairy and Fantasy 3 by Karron. And I had a whip in this book, which I really wanted to finish. Whoops. And yeah, this page here was basically started with the Artex pencils. And yeah, I just really wanted to finish this. I finished it with the Artex pencils. So the whole page is colored with the Artex pencils. Yeah, only on the background I had used a little bit of an alcohol markers from the pastel Honolulu set. And then I went around the border here with the Artex pencils a little bit to give a little bit of depth. And I think that worked actually quite well. And I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And on her dress here, I gave a lot of stickles also here, a little bit on this little guy here, a little bit in the flower centers on her crown as well. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I also put a little bit of glitter here on the water, which is a very subtle glitter. But yeah, so this was one of the last pages that I colored this month basically. And it was a lot of fun. I'm happy that I added another page to this book, which is also one of my 10 books to finish. And I think I'm halfway through. I started to fill in, to have an app. And I'm filling in like my books and the completed pages. And so I can always see how much is completed of a book, and a lot of fun. So yeah, so this was basically A Fairy and Fantasy 3. By Karron. And then the last page that I have colored is from Jasmine Becket-Griffith's Mermaids coloring book. I haven't colored Jasmine Becket-Griffith for a long time, and I had started a page last year in my coloring slump basically, and I decided that it's time to finish it. And yeah, that's what I basically did. So it's this page here. And you know, I had worked on her with the Crayola super tips, like on her tail, even on her skin, her hair. And I have to say, I colored over her skin with pencils to bring it all out, give it some shading. And I have to say that it looks very dirty, a little bit muddy. So I don't know why this is. Maybe because of the super color underneath. I'm not quite sure. Because normally I don't have this problem in this book on this paper. Then I went over here over her tail with just Colorless watercolor paint from the Galaxy set. I thought that would look very nice. Try to make the turtle here a little bit in a similar way. And then Neocolor 2 on the background. I thought that would look just nice for a underneath water background.
Hello, you don't even know my name, but I am happy you came by.
So, and that was basically my completed pages for the last quarter, April, May and June. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which is your favorite of all the images that I have colored. I have to say, I have quite a few favorites, and I have lying 3 of my favorites here. Actually, I'm quite happy with the last quarter of the images that I've colored. I did some easier ones. I did some more detailed ones. This one was also very detailed. This was more easy and fun, but very colorful. And I'm overall very happy with the results that I achieved, and it was a lot of fun. And so I hope I will see you next week with my plans for the 3rd quarter. So if you're interested in which books I plan to color next, don't miss this video. So until then, have a good time, happy coloring, and bye!